This is Michael Hale, broadcasting from Red Zone Radio, somewhere in the Northeast. And if you're hearing my voice tonight, then first, good. That means your batteries still work, your antenna still works, and you're still here.
It's been 1 year, 365 days since the military collapsed. 1 year since the last clear federal chain of command stopped answering. 1 year since people started counting time as before and after.
We used to open with city names, station IDs, traffic, weather, all that. We don't do that anymore. We don't give exact locations. We don't give exact numbers. We learned that the hard way.
We moved the station 3 times in 12 months. First basement setup flooded. Second one got compromised. Third one, this one, we're keeping, as long as we can.
We lost half our equipment twice. Burned out a transmitter in January. Ran the board on salvaged marine batteries for 6 weeks. Jenny fixed a mixer with copper wire and a butter knife.
It was a clean butter knife.
That's the kind of luxury we still allow ourselves. Jokes that aren't funny.
For anyone new on the band, this is Red Zone Radio. We broadcast on a ration schedule. 2 windows most days. Dawn hour and night hour. News, calls, route updates, settlement check-ins, and whatever else keeps people alive one more night.
Tonight's a long one. Anniversary broadcast. We're marking the year by doing what we've always done. Sharing what we know, reading who we've lost, and making sure the people still out there know they are not the last ones.
You're not the last one.
Let's set the reality for the people coming in late. Power is rationed here. We run generator only when needed. Backup battery stack is unstable, but holding. Broadcast equipment is scavenged and ugly. We have 1 good mic, 1 decent mic, and 1 mic that only works if you don't breathe on it.
Food stores are tight but stable. Water is filtered, boiled, filtered again. We trade for antibiotics when we can. We don't waste ammo. We don't travel after dark unless someone's dying.
And yes, before the messages come in, we know what day it is. We know what was lost. We know what this date means in every state, every county, every little patch of road where people made a stand and didn't come back.
We know.
We're starting with a survivor testimony. Martha from Ohio Settlement. She's been checking in with us for months. Martha, if you're still on the line, go ahead.
Michael, I got you. Can you hear me clear?
You're coming through, Martha. Go ahead. Tell people where you're at, as much as you're comfortable sharing.
We're outside Dayton. Not in it. Outside. Old farm property, 2 barns, 1 machine shed, 1 well that still works if we prime it by hand. We got 47 people. That includes 6 kids and 1 baby who just turned 3 months.
47 is strong. Last time you called, you were at 42.
We lost 2. We took in 7.
That's how the math goes now?
Yeah. We got fences up. Not pretty, but layered. Wire, scrap metal, old livestock panels. We run watches and 4-hour shifts. No lights outside after sunset. Indoors, we cover windows with quilt layers and feed sacks.
Food situation?
Better than spring. We planted potatoes, beans, squash, and corn. Potatoes did best. Beans second. Corn got hit by mold in 1 field, but we saved enough. We keep chickens, 12 left. Had 23 at the start of winter. Foxes, cold, bad luck.
Medical?
1 retired nurse, no doctor. We got bandages, iodine, some expired antibiotics we're saving for when it's bad. We had a boy cut his leg on a sheet metal edge. Fever set in. Nurse cleaned it twice a day. He made it, barely.
Tell us about morale. Real answer.
Mornings are okay. Mornings feel like work, and work feels like life. Afternoons get heavy. Nights are the worst. Nights people remember too much. We got an older man, Mr. Donnelly. He used to teach history. He reads to the kids after supper so their parents can breathe for 20 minutes. That's probably why we're still sane.
What's the hardest thing at the 1-year mark?
The silence after you stop expecting rescue.
Yeah.
First few months, every sound in the sky, everyone looked up. Every rumor about military regrouping, people got homesick. Now, nobody asks. We build, we bury, we patch roofs, we count jars. That's life. But listen, Michael, tell people this part too. We laugh. Still. We laugh at stupid things. My grandson put a saucepan on his head and marched around saying he's the sheriff. Whole room laughed so hard one of the women cried. That's still in us. That's still there. I'm glad you said that. And tell folks not to isolate if they can help it. We got people alive because somebody else heard them coughing at night. Alone people die quiet. Community catches things.
It's a line worth writing down. Alone people die quiet. Community catches things.
Also, if anybody's running old hand pumps, grease the seals with animal fat if machine grease is gone. We learned that from a guy passing through. Saved our well.
Good tip. That's exactly why we do this.
Michael, can I say one more thing?
You can say whatever you need.
My daughter, Leah, if you're listening, we're still at the farm. We kept the porch light rule. 1 candle in the back window on Sundays. You told me if anything happened, look for the candle. We still do it. Every Sunday. Come home if you can.
We heard you, Martha.
Thank you.
Stay on after the break. In topic, we'll get your trade needs listed. You did good. You did real good.
That's Ohio. 47 people, a hand pump and a history teacher and a candle in a window on Sundays.
That's America now. Small numbers, big courage.
We said we'd do a memorial segment tonight. We're doing it now before I lose my nerve.
Listener messages came in all week. Names of people lost over the last year. Family, neighbors, watch partners, medics, drivers, people who held doors, people who bought time. We can't read all of them tonight. We wish we could.
If we read your person, they are remembered here. If we don't, they're still remembered. This isn't a list of who's important. It's just what time allows.
I'll start. Corporal Eli Ramirez, National Guard, San Antonio checkpoint. Held lane 3 until civilians cleared.
Denise Walker, school bus driver, Macon County, turned the bus around and brought 17 kids home.
Pastor Glenn Whitaker, Tulsa, Oprah Church basement. Refused to lock anyone out.
Daniel Brooks, police officer, Baltimore, stayed on dispatch after everyone else evacuated.
Malik Johnson, age 16, Cleveland. Ran insulin to Mrs. Carter 2 blocks over.
Anita and Joe Bell, Asheville, died together defending the greenhouse.
Daniel Hale.
Michael?
Daniel Hale, North Carolina National Guard. My brother. Last confirmed near the final defensive line outside Raleigh corridor. We got word from one of his unit's survivors in month 3. Said Daniel stayed on a disabled transport and covered evacuees moving east. He did not make it out.
I'm sorry.
Me too.
He gets remembered here.
He does. They all do.
More names will be posted through Relay after this broadcast. If you're on the network, ask your operator for the memorial roll-up.
Switching gears, we got a route report from Roadrunner. He came in by relay this afternoon. For folks moving through Pennsylvania, this matters. Jenny, read it.
Roadrunner, reporting northbound and westbound passage update. Sections of interstate routes remain unusable due to pileups and herd density. Avoid all former toll bottlenecks. Safer movement available through secondary farm roads west of Harrisburg corridor if traveling in groups under 6. 1 bridge crossing still clear at dawn only. No fires, no engine idling near tree lines. Herd movement patterns after midnight. That's his wording.
Roadrunner's reports have been solid. If he says dawn only, he means dawn only. Don't get clever.
He also tagged one section not worth the risk. When he says that, people disappear there.
Community bulletin before we open broader check-ins. Trading posts currently active by report. 1 in western Pennsylvania every 3rd day. 1 in southern Ohio rotating barn sites. 1 in upstate corridor operating on whistle signal and daylight only approach. Bring what you say you'll bring. Trade reputation is currency now. Burn that and you're done.
Water purification reminder, because we keep getting sickness reports. Boiling is good, but not enough if your storage is dirty. Clean containers with ash scrub if soap is gone. Cloth filter sediment first. Boil hard. cool covered. If you can, add a second stage through sand charcoal setup. Replace charcoal often.
Diarrhea killed more people than pride ever admitted.
Pride gets people killed too.
True.
One more thing before settlement calls. We need to address reports coming in about movement changes in walkers. I know some people don't want to hear it. I don't want to say it. But we've got enough reports now to flag it.
We are not saying panic. We are saying pay attention.
3 independent reports this week from different states describing faster movement bursts. Not sprinting, not movie nonsense, but faster than the slow drift most people have adapted to. Short bursts, directional, usually after visual lock.
Could be fresh or dead, could be terrain, could be adrenaline in the witnesses.
It could be, but if it's not and we ignore it, people die.
Fair. So here's the rule. Do not assume old patterns are permanent. If your perimeter plans are built on they move slow, update that thinking tonight.
We've survived a year by adapting faster than fear. Keep doing that.
Moving into our second hour block. This is Letters from the Living. We're doing settlement check-ins across the country. If you've got a hand crank set and a map, this is the part to listen close.
We spent months thinking every community was alone. They're not. We know of dozens now. Some are tiny, some are stable, some are one bad week from collapse, but they're there.
First call, Sarah from the Florida Keys. Female caller, so I'm handling. Sarah, you got us?
I got you. Signal's rough, but I got you.
You're on red zone. Give us your status.
Island group, south of Marathon. We don't say exact island on open broadcast. We got a little over 120 people. Depends on the week. Fishing keeps us fed. Rain catchment plus filtration keeps us alive. Storm season keeps us scared.
You reported relative safety last month. Still true?
Safer than inland, yes. Not safe. We get drifters. We get small boats with desperate people. We get occasional infected washing in after storms. We got current barriers and narrow access points. That helps. Biggest threat isn't walkers most days. It's infection from cuts, bad water seals, and no medicine.
You mentioned a doctor before.
He died. Appendicitis. We all knew what was happening. We all knew what to do in the old world. Didn't matter. We don't have a surgical setup. We don't have anesthesia. We don't have sterile anything. He was our doctor, and he died from something that used to be routine.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, me too. He delivered babies and set bones and talked people down when they wanted to walk into the water. We buried him near the old marina.
What do you need most? Say it clear. Somebody listening may be able to help.
Medical training. Doesn't have to be a surgeon. Nurse practitioner, EMT, medic, paramedic, vet tech with experience. Anybody. We need someone who knows wound care, fever management, childbirth basics, dosing. We can trade food, fish, salt, dry stores, shelter, boat access. We can keep people alive if they don't come in already dying.
Security situation. If someone travels to you, what are they walking into?
Structured camp, watch rotations, rules. No stealing, no private weapon stockpiles, council of 5. We had one guy try to take over using a boat crew. We exiled him and his cousin. Haven't seen them in months.
That's governance, whether people like the word or not.
We call it not losing our minds.
Same thing.
Michael, can I ask something on air?
Go ahead.
Are there really settlements inland holding over 50? We hear stories, but it feels like stories.
Yes, confirmed by repeated contact. Ohio settlement at 47, California coastal at over 80, mountain group in Montana in the 30s, multiple farm clusters in the Midwest. Holding doesn't mean comfortable, it means still there. But yes, people are holding.
Good. People here need to hear that.
Then hear it. You're not a last island in a dead world. You're one node in a living one.
Thank you.
Before I let you go, one tip from your side, something useful.
Focused. Salt everything. If you've got access to salt or can trade for it, it's life. Fish, meat, even some greens and brine. Salt turns a good day into next week. Also, boil shellfish longer than you think. We lost people early because hunger made us stupid.
That's solid. Stay on relay after and we'll route your medical request through the network.
Copy that. That's Florida Keys. Relative safety, no doctor, and still organized.
It used to be we'd call that a humanitarian crisis. Now we call that one of the better outcomes.
Next up, West Coast. California Coastal Community, 82 people by last count. This caller is male, so I'm taking it. You got us? Go ahead.
Yeah, gotcha. Name's Luis. We're north of Monterey. Small harbor town. Not saying which one.
Smart. Give us your numbers and your biggest problem.
82 total. Food okay because fishing and kelp harvest. Water okay because we've got 2 cisterns and rooftop catch. Biggest problem is raiders coming in from inland. They don't stay, they hit and move. Test defenses.
How often?
3 times in 6 weeks. First time, just scouts. Second time, they took nets and fuel. Third time, they fired into the air and tried to pull our gate crew out.
Casualties?
1 dead, 2 wounded. We held.
What worked when you held?
Layers. Outer obstacles to slow. Inner firing positions hidden. No shouting during contact, just hand signals. We learned that from a former Marine we took in. Also, we stopped storing fuel in one place, spread it out. They burned one shed and thought they got us.
Good discipline. What do you need?
Ammunition, if anybody can spare. Also, antibiotics. And if anyone has experience reinforcing docks, our pilings are rotting, and if the storm season hits hard, we lose half our access.
What's morale like with the repeated attacks?
Mixed. Fishers are steady, they know routines. Younger guys want to go hunt raiders inland and end the threat. Older folks know that's how groups vanish. We keep arguing.
For anyone listening, don't go chasing into terrain your enemy knows better. Defending home and raiding back are different missions. Pride looks tactical until the body count starts.
Exactly. Say that louder for my nephews.
I think they heard me.
I hope. One thing to share for the network. What's helping your people endure besides food? Routine. We post tasks every morning. Nobody gets to sit and spiral all day. Even elders sort lines, mend clothes, watch kids, shell beans. Work keeps grief from taking over.
That's a good line.
Hey, if anyone hears this in Bakersfield area, my sister Alina, if you're alive, we still ring the harbor bell once on Sundays at noon. You hated that bell. If you hear one ring, it's us.
Message received.
Thanks, Jenny.
Harbor Bell in California, Candle in Ohio. Everybody's got a signal.
Montana next. Mountain settlement. 31 people. Winter prep already underway.
Michael, this is Ruth. You got me?
Clear enough. Go ahead, Ruth.
Western Montana mountains. 31 right now. We had 34 in spring. Lost 1 to a fall, 1 to fever, 1 to... we don't know. Went missing on trapline.
Winter prep status?
Wood stacked to shoulder height on 3 walls of the lodge. Need double that. Root cellar repaired. We sealed cracks with mud, straw, cloth. We got elk this season, smoked most of it. Potatoes modest, beans poor. Snow comes early here. Folks in warmer places need to stop thinking winter means discomfort. Winter here means if your boot tears, you might lose a foot.
Any contact with nearby groups?
1, maybe 2. Hard to confirm. Radio gets weird in storms. We trade with a small ranch group when passes are clear. Main problem is isolation. If someone gets hurt, it becomes a community event immediately.
Medical?
None trained. We got books, that's what we got. A stack of old first aid manuals and 1 woman who worked dental reception, and now everybody treats her like a surgeon.
Receptionists are running the world now.
Better than the old world some days.
Fair?
We also got reports of movement changes in the dead. Slopes don't slow some of them like they used to. We lost a watch kid because he assumed the incline would buy him time.
That's the second region tonight saying the same thing.
Tell people not to trust old assumptions, and don't travel alone in timber. Sound bounces. You think you're hearing 1, it's 3.
Strong advice. What can the network send you?
Need needles. Sewing needles, heavy ones. Boot repair awls if anybody's got them. Salt. And if some miracle worker has antibiotics that still do anything, we'll trade fur, dry meat, tools, labor, whatever.
Copy all. Anything for morale? Something your people did right?
We started reading out loud at night. Doesn't matter what. Seed catalogs, old Western novels, instruction manuals. Just hearing a voice not giving orders helps.
It does.
My husband used to read weather reports just to hear himself. Said if he stopped talking, the dark got ideas.
Then let's keep talking.
That's the plan.
Montana says the dark gets ideas.
We got one more settlement check before Route Man Steve, Midwest Farming Commune. Mail caller, Jenny's line. This is Caleb. Central Illinois Commune, not Giving County.
Go ahead, Caleb. Crop update?
Better than expected. Corn okay, beans strong, potatoes decent. Biggest success was squash, because hardly anybody stole seed for it early on. Everyone wanted corn and forgot squash stores forever if you keep it dry.
That's useful.
We built a seed-sharing network with 3 other farm groups. Label everything twice, paper and etched wood tags. Mice got our first records, almost caused a fight in spring.
End of the world, and we're still arguing over labels.
Means we're still people.
Security issues?
Mostly drifters. Some hungry, some dangerous. We vet everyone for 2 nights outside the main fence. Food passed out through side gate. No one enters armed first day. Folks call it harsh. Folks who call it harsh didn't bury our gate crew in March.
Boundaries save communities.
Yep. Also tell your listeners this. Don't plant all your food in one field. We split ours into 5 patches. If one gets trampled, burned, or invested, you're not finished.
Medical, tools, trade needs?
Need salt, pressure canning lids if anybody still has them, and wire. Always wire. We can trade dried beans, seed potatoes, hand tools, and we got one mechanic who's good with diesel pumps if someone can transport him safely.
That's a major trade skill.
We also got a school. Not a real one, but every afternoon the kids sit at a table and old Mrs. Pike teaches reading, numbers, and what not to touch in the shed. She says if we don't teach them now, we won't deserve to survive.
Mrs. Pike is right.
My son asked me what a movie theater was. I couldn't explain it without sounding crazy.
Try a room where strangers sat together in the dark and felt the same thing at the same time.
That's actually pretty good.
Thanks.
Okay, moving to roads. Everybody perks up for this one. Former truck driver Big Steve has been moving small supply runs across state lines longer than I would have bet possible. Mail caller, Jenny's all yours.
Red Zone, you copy? This is Big Steve, and I am tired, hungry, and extremely handsome.
We copy everything except the last part.
Fair. I got route info.
Go.
Small convoy routes still possible if you're disciplined. Emphasis on small. 2 vehicles max if fuel's good, 1 if fuel's tight. No headlights in open stretches if moon's enough. No horns ever. If one vehicle goes down, you abandon it if the stop lasts over 90 seconds. Don't die for a truck. Areas to avoid. Former Atlanta Metro is a dead zone. Repeat, dead zone. Massive herd concentration, layered. You think it's clear, you hit another pocket. Sound carries weird around the concrete. Stay wide around all of it. I don't care if your map says it's shorter.
Any signs of organized human threats on your route?
Yeah. Checkpoints that ain't checkpoints. Guys in mixed camo and work boots stopping traffic, taxing supplies. Some are just hungry and scared. Some are predators. If they ask too many questions about where your people sleep, leave.
Good rule.
Also, fuel's turning mad in old station tanks. Drain water before use if you know how. If you don't know how, find someone who does, or you'll kill your engine at the worst moment.
You still running diesel?
Mostly. Diesel's forgiving if you treat it right. Gas engines are moodier than a church committee.
That image still exists somehow.
I moved antibiotics from Tennessee to Western Virginia last month. Took me 8 days and 2 detours. Saved a little girl by all reports. That's why we still run roads.
That's exactly why.
It ain't hero work, by the way. People keep saying that. It's math. If route opens, supplies move. If supplies move, settlements hold. If settlements hold, maybe we don't all become stories. What's your ask tonight? Need belts, hoses, brake fluid, and a clean alternator for an old Freightliner model if anybody's hoarding one. Also coffee. Real coffee. I know that's impossible, but I can dream.
Dream small, Steve.
Never.
One last thing. You hearing the same walker behavior changes others are reporting?
Yeah. Used to be I could predict route drift by noise and heat. Now some of them hold back in tree lines. Feels like ambush sometimes, and I hate saying that. Could be me getting paranoid. Could be I'm still alive because I'm paranoid. Tell folks to stop calling anything safe. There's safer and less safe. That's it.
Heard and logged.
Stay alive, Steve. You too.
Big Steve says there's no safe. just safer. Put that next to Martha's line, and you've got the year in 2 sentences.
We just lost main generator feed.
We still on air?
On backup battery. Voltage dipping.
Okay, keep your voices normal. If we start sounding scared, everybody listening gets scared.
I'm not sounding scared. I'm sounding annoyed.
Good. Better for morale.
Backup inverter's running hot. Give me 30 seconds and keep talking.
For listeners, this is normal now. Equipment failure is part of broadcasting. If we cut out, hold frequency and check top of the hour. We'll try to reestablish. While Jenny wrestles our electrical system, quick update on the network.
I can hear you and I hate that you're calm.
It's a skill.
Fine, keep going.
The network is not a government. It's not a militia. It's a loose alliance of settlements, independent operators, scouts, and runners sharing verified information. We pass route updates, medical needs, trade opportunities, memorial notices, and threat warnings. If you're listening and want in, you need consistency. Same call window, same signal habits, no fake reports.
And if you send false route info as a joke or trap, people die. We blacklist voices. We share names. There are consequences.
Current network estimate stands at over 40 confirmed communities in periodic contact, maybe more with relay gaps. Not everyone talks every week. Doesn't mean they're gone. Sometimes it means batteries died, or somebody's on watch.
Backup line stabilized. We got another hour if we don't push too hard.
Knew you had it.
I had spite. Different fuel source.
Works either way. Next segment is a hard one. When the shields broke. We promised military first-hand accounts on the anniversary, and we've got one of the most detailed we've ever been sent. Marcus Webb, former Army Sergeant, Fort Campbell. Male Dest, so Jenny handles the line.
Marcus, thank you for doing this. I know you don't like talking about it.
I don't, but people keep making up stories. Might as well tell what happened.
Start where it changed for you.
It changed before people think. Public remembers the big footage, the checkpoints, the helicopters, the speeches. For us, it changed when supplies started arriving late, and the manifests stopped matching the crates. Ammo counts off, medical inventories short, fuel allocations rerouted, and nobody admitting why.
How long before collapse were you seeing that?
Weeks, maybe longer, but that's when I noticed. At first, command still talked like command. Temporary disruptions, localized incidents. Then the casualty numbers started coming in weird. Not battle casualties, containment injuries, quarantine breaches, guys on perimeter duty disappearing into medical wings and not coming back.
Did you know what it was then?
We knew enough to be scared, and not enough to make good choices. That's the military version of hell.
Tell us about Fort Campbell's final weeks.
Perimeter expansion first. We were told hold outer roads, process civilians, separate symptomatic from non-symptomatic. Problem is, symptoms changed fast, and some didn't show until too late. We had families at the gates begging in 50 directions. We had orders. Then we had different orders. Then we had no orders.
What broke the chain?
Infection inside. Everybody thinks bases were fortresses. Bases are cities. Barracks, mess halls, hospitals, motor pools, classrooms, housing. Once it got inside the medical and support units, we weren't fighting an enemy out there anymore. We were fighting panic, rumor, and our own people turning in secured areas.
You said turning on each other. Explain that for listeners without making it worse than it was.
It was worse than whatever I say. You'd have a squad hold a hallway. One guy gets bit in a scramble and hides it because he doesn't want to be put down. 3 hours later he drops, comes up wrong, and now the threat is behind your line. You hesitate because it's your friend. Hesitation gets 2 more killed. Then somebody else shoots too late, too wild. That's how discipline collapses. Not all at once. In pockets. In moments.
How long did Fort Campbell hold after Central Command stopped responding?
19 days by my count. Maybe 20 if you count the last scattered holdouts and maintenance blocks. 19 days of rationing ammo, relocating civilians, burning records, and pretending somebody had a bigger plan.
Did anyone?
If they did, it never reached us.
What about Washington? We keep hearing conflicting stories.
I wasn't there, so I won't fake it, but we got relays. DC evac started before public knew the scale. Not one evacuation, a bunch of them. Agencies pulling their own, units getting reassigned mid-move, convoys crossing routes, air assets diverted. Once roads jammed and interior infection reports hit command sites, communications got fragmented. Different branches talking on different priorities. You don't need betrayal for collapse. Confusion and time pressure is enough.
We've also got a naval testimony by relay about carriers becoming death traps. Does that match what you heard?
Yeah, at sea sounds safe until infection gets on board. Then you're trapped on steel, with nowhere to disperse and no outside support. Folks romanticize carriers. They're cities, too. Packed cities.
Tell me about Black Tuesday. People use that term now. What was it to you?
The day everybody stopped saying when backup arrives. We were on a north perimeter lane. Radio traffic was chaos. Calls for ammo, medevac requests nobody could fill, command posts asking for confirmation from command posts already gone. Then one by one, the voices went quiet. Not dramatic, just fewer answers. By afternoon, units started making local decisions, with no expectation of higher approval. By evening, some officers were still trying to preserve order, and some were just trying to get their people's families out. Black Tuesday is a clean label. It wasn't clean. It was 1,000 breakpoints in one day.
How did you get out?
I didn't get out. I ran. That's the honest version. Last fallback line got compromised. We were low on ammo and lower on sleep. Captain told us split into teams and move civilians west through drainage cut. He stayed with 6 others to hold a choke point. I never saw him again. I got maybe 15 people out with 2 other soldiers. Lost 8 on the move. Reached a church, then a farm, then no more uniforms, no more chain, just survivors.
A lot of people carry guilt from those days. Guilt is the national anthem now. What do you want people to understand about the military collapse?
The military didn't quit. We got outscaled, outnumbered, outpaced by spread, by logistics failure, by the fact that every casualty risked becoming another enemy. Tanks and jets don't solve contaminated barracks and panicked cities. We trained for threats that break. This one just kept coming.
That's important.
Also tell people this. There are military survivors everywhere. Ex-Guard, ex-Army, Marines, medics, mechanics. Most don't wear uniforms anymore. They're leading watch shifts and fixing wells and teaching kids field sanitation. That's what service looks like now.
Thank you, Marcus.
Don't thank me. Just tell the truth.
That's what we're doing.
The military didn't quit. We got outscaled. That's going to stick with people.
It should.
You okay?
I was in my hometown when a National Guard convoy got overrun on Main and Cedar. I still smell the diesel when Marcus talks. That's what okay is now.
You want to say it?
Yeah. People ask why I get sharp when callers talk about where was the Guard. They were there. In my town, they were there. 3 trucks, 1 Humvee, and a medic van. They were trying to move civilians to the high school gym because somebody still thought the gym was secure. Crowd surged. Somebody in the crowd turned. Maybe bitten. Maybe hiding it. I don't know. Panic spread faster than orders. Drivers couldn't move. Soldiers started pulling people up by hand. Then the line broke. I saw 1 guardsman standing on the hood yelling directions until they took him down. I was in a hardware store stockroom with 6 strangers and a dog. That's how I survived. Not because anyone failed me. Because 1 soldier bought 30 seconds on a hood of a truck.
Thank you for saying that.
Don't rewrite the year into easy villains. It was harder than that.
Next segment. Lessons written in blood. If you've made it this far, this is the practical block. People ask us all the time what actually works. We can't promise outcomes, but we can share what keeps showing up in survivor reports.
Starting with evacuation. We have a caller with public health background and field data from early spread mapping. Dr. Chen has checked in with us before. Female caller, Michael Handles. This is Dr. Ling Chen. You have me?
We have you, Doctor. Let's start with the uncomfortable one. Early evacuation. Good idea or deadly idea?
Both, depending on timing. But for most urban populations in the first 72 hours, spontaneous mass evacuation was catastrophic. Highways became constrained channels. Gridlock removed mobility, trapped people in vehicles, and created dense exposure zones. Once panic started, route predictability did the rest.
So all the just get out advice was wrong for most people.
Immediate blind flight was wrong in many cases. Strategic relocation with preparation can work, but unplanned flight into congested routes killed enormous numbers.
What should people have done, and what should people do now if a new settlement is facing pressure?
In early outbreak conditions, fortify, assess, gather water, establish communication, identify trusted neighbors, and monitor movement patterns before moving. In current conditions 1 year later, mobility matters more, but only with scouting and destination planning. Never leave one bad situation for an unknown one without route intelligence.
Route intelligence. Write that down.
Also, noise discipline. Survivor anecdotes consistently show that gunfire solves one immediate problem and creates 2 delayed ones. Communities that used layered barriers, silent alarms, and melee teams for close perimeter breaches had lower repeat incursion rates than groups relying on frequent firearms discharge.
Everybody wants to be loud until the loud brings company.
Precisely.
You also studied spread patterns in the first months. Anything still useful?
Yes, infection spread was not random. It followed density, transport corridors, and institutional bottlenecks, hospitals, shelters, detention centers, transit hubs. 1 year later, those patterns still predict herd concentrations. Old cities remain dangerous not only because of population history, but because many initial containment efforts failed in place, leaving dense residual zones.
So, dead zones often line up with old infrastructure choke points.
Correct. Bridges, underpasses, interchanges, and distribution centers. Humans built funnels. The dead still use them.
Give us one survival lesson people learn too late.
Community outperforms individual preparedness over time. A well-armed individual can survive acute events. A functioning group survives seasons. Childcare, wound care, watch rotations, food production, grief management, those are group tasks.
Grief management. People don't say that enough.
They should. Unmanaged grief leads to poor risk decisions, conflict, and withdrawal. I am not speaking abstractly. I have seen communities fracture from untreated trauma faster than from infection.
Anything practical on sanitation before I let you go?
Latrines downhill and away from water source. Mark them clearly. Rotate and cover. Hand washing stations even if it's ash and boiled water. Isolate the sick early, but maintain caregivers with barrier cloth and cleaning routines. Most settlements wait too long to isolate because they fear seeming cruel.
Cruel is letting one fever take 6.
Exactly.
Thank you, Doctor. Stay with us if you can. We may pull you back in on infection behavior later.
Understood.
A functioning group survives seasons. We should paint that on the wall.
Once we have paint again.
We got practical lessons from listeners, too. Let's do rapid shares.
Weapons. Effective versus ineffective. Consensus from a year of field reports. Silent tools are king for routine defense. Spears, hatchets, pikes, reinforced poles, trapping barriers. Firearms remain critical for emergencies, raids, and open route breaks, but every round is a decision with sound consequences.
Community defense. What worked? Layered walls, staggered watch shifts, hidden fallback positions, no single gate dependence, and silent alarm systems. Bells can work if you must, but many settlements now use line pull indicators, metal taps inside walls, or visual markers.
Agriculture. Fast and reliable crops from repeated reports. Potatoes, beans, squash, greens where climate allows. Save seeds early. Dry them right. Label everything. Store in cool, dry containers if possible. Don't plant your whole future in one field.
Water purification from scavenged materials. Cloth pre-filter, boil. Sand charcoal second stage if available. Clean storage containers. Don't dip dirty cups in communal barrels. Use ladles or pour systems. It sounds small until your whole camp is sick.
Michael's mistake of the winter. My winter. We stored split firewood too close to outer wall because it was convenient. Snow came, wall dampened, wood wicked moisture, stack rotted from the inside. We thought we had 6 weeks of burn left. We had 9 days. Lost 2 elderly people to cold complications in that stretch, and 1 teenager to a chest infection that turned bad fast. Convenience killed them as much as weather did.
You couldn't know then.
I could have listened better. That's the point of this segment. Learn from dead people without needing your own.
Then here's one from us too. Rotate watch pairs. Don't leave one person alone on night watch if you can avoid it. Not just for security, for judgment. Fatigue makes you imagine things. Or worse, miss real things.
Community over individualism. You're hearing that theme because it's true. Lone wolves become memorial names. Groups become place names.
We need to address the threat changes now. Evolved threat segment. We were hoping to save this for later in the week, but the reports keep stacking.
We are not declaring science fiction. We are reporting observed patterns. If you're listening, treat this as a warning to increase caution, not as a reason to panic and waste fuel.
First caller,
Jake from Pennsylvania. Mail caller, so I take it. Jake, tell us exactly what you saw.
I was on second watch at a machine shop we use as shelter. Window lines boarded except one upper panel we keep for sight. One walker got into the lot. I watched it move around a parked forklift, then stop at the office window. It looked in.
Slow down. What happened next?
There was a rock by the curb. It bent, picked it up, and hit the glass. Once. Then again harder. Broke it on the third hit.
Could it have fallen into the glass while carrying debris?
No. I know what I saw. It picked up the rock and swung. Not random. Purpose.
What did you do?
We dropped it before it cleared the frame. Silent, if possible, but not silent enough. 2 more showed from the alley in under a minute. We pulled back to interior line.
Any prior signs this group behaved different?
They weren't crowding noise the way we're used to. They spread out. One moved toward our side door while the first was at the window. Like it was probing. I know how that sounds. It sounds like the other reports. That's why I called. If we'd treated it like a dumb drifter, we'd have lost the front room and maybe the whole shop. What advice for people listening? Reinforce glass, even if you think it's too high to matter. Clear loose objects from around walls. Rocks, tools, bricks. Anything they can use if this is real. And don't stand silhouetted in windows. It looked right at where I'd been standing 5 seconds earlier.
That's useful and terrifying. Stay safe, Jake.
Trying.
That's now multiple states describing object use, pathing, or burst movement. Could be selection effect, like we said earlier. Maybe the slow, dumb drifters got culled and what's left is what got through.
Which still means the threat changed.
Yes, it does.
We have a scout relay too. Roadrunner again. Short message but important. Dead avoid certain burned industrial zones after rain. Unsure why. Repeated twice. Marking as possible route asset but not verified. That sounds like pattern recognition or environmental aversion.
Could be smell, footing, chemical residue. Who knows? We don't have labs. We have eyes. Keep your eyes open.
I need to say this one and I hate saying it. I saw one near my old neighborhood in month 8. It drifted past 3 houses, stopped at a blue one, and went up on the porch. Put its hands on the door. Just stood there. That house used to belong to a man named Carl, who fed every stray cat on the block. I don't know if that walker had been Carl. I don't know if remembered is the right word, but it wasn't random wandering. It felt like a path it knew.
Could have been scent, could have been habit, could have been anything.
I know. It still kept me awake for a month.
Which brings us to the debate every settlement is having. Fortify permanent or relocate regularly. There's no universal answer. Permanent sites allow farming, infrastructure, schooling, routine. Moving sites reduces pattern exposure and can keep raiders and herds from fixing on you. Most successful groups do both. Strong home base and fallback site.
If you don't have a fallback site, start building one. Doesn't need to be comfortable, needs to be stocked and hidden.
New survival protocol from this station effective now. Never assume the dead are predictable. If your plan depends on them behaving the way they did 6 months ago, your plan is outdated.
Repeat that to your watch teams. Repeat it to your kids if they're old enough. Repeat it until it feels normal.
We're coming up on end of the anniversary section. We said we'd close with purpose and with a look forward. Before that, a few community bulletins.
Trading requests logged tonight. Florida Keys medical personnel urgent. Montana, needles, boot repair tools, salt, antibiotics. California Harbor Group needs ammo, antibiotics, dock reinforcement knowledge. Midwest Commune seeking wire, canning supplies, salt. Big Steve needs alternator parts and coffee. And no, we still don't have coffee.
Somebody somewhere has coffee, and they're becoming a king over it.
A tyrant, probably.
Route warning reissued. Avoid former Atlanta Metro. Pennsylvania Dawn crossing remains conditional. Use secondary roads, no fires, no idle engines near tree lines. Verify with local scouts before moving.
Memorial roll call expansion will be relayed on network channels after this broadcast. If you sent a name and we didn't read it, keep listening. We carry as many as we can.
1 year ago tonight, people were waiting for things to go back. We don't do that anymore.
We build what's left into something livable. That doesn't mean we stopped grieving. It means grief doesn't get the last word.
We lost a country. We lost cities, roads, families, ordinary mornings, pharmacies, school buses, lights on timers, all of it. But listen to what we heard tonight. Ohio has 47 people and a candle in the window. The Keys have 120 and a council. California still rings a bell. Montana reads by firelight. Illinois runs a school. A truck driver still risks roads so a little girl can get medicine.
That's not extinction. That's a nation in pieces learning how to breathe again.
If you're out there alone, find one person. If you're two, become four. If you're four, build rules before you need them. If you have food, preserve it. If you have tools, hide backups. If you have hope, protect it from foolishness.
This is Red Zone Radio. Anniversary broadcast, year 1 after the military collapse. We are still on the air, and tomorrow we move into wider settlement reports and more route intelligence if the batteries hold.
And if you're listening, leave your signal sign on your usual hour. We keep finding each other.
We do.
Good night or good morning, wherever you are.
Stay low, stay warm, stay human. Red Zone Radio back on the air. If you're just catching us, this is the continuation of our year 1 anniversary broadcast. We marked the dead, the living, and the lessons that kept us here. Now we get into the part nobody likes admitting out loud.
The part where the dead aren't always the worst thing outside your walls.
This segment is When Man is the Real Monster. Human threats, raiders, forced labor crews, self-appointed kings with rifles and hunger. We held this for later in the night because some kids listen in the early window, and this isn't the part they need before sleep.
But adults need to hear it. Especially the ones still saying, at least people are people. Some are, some aren't.
We're starting with a survivor testimony from former Virginia territory. Maria's been waiting on relay, and she's got first-hand reporting on a raider gang using the name The Reapers. Female caller, so I'm taking the line. Maria, go ahead.
You got me?
We got you. Take your time.
I don't need time. I need people to listen. We were a community outside Richmond. Old warehouse district converted to a shelter and garden lot. 58 people before the attack. We had rules, watches, storage, all of it. We thought we were ready.
When did the Reapers hit?
First contact was a week before the real attack. 4 men, mixed uniforms, white paint on their sleeves. They came to the outer fence, offering alliance. Asked how many we had, what we grew, who was in charge. We gave them nothing and sent them off.
Good call.
Didn't matter. They came back at night 6 days later, with maybe 15, maybe more. Hard to count in smoke. They didn't just break in. They lit our supply shed first.
They burned supplies before taking them?
They burned what they couldn't carry. Rice, blankets, seed stock. We had labeled seed jars for spring. Gone. They wanted us desperate. They kept shouting from outside the fence. Join or starve. Join or starve.
Casualties?
7 dead. 4 taken. We don't know if the 4 are alive. 2 of ours were shot trying to put out the shed. 1 burned. 2 got dragged during breach. 1 old man had a heart attack in the panic. That's how it counts now.
I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. Tell people to stop opening gates to friendly patrols. Tell them not all radios are for helping. They scout you with questions.
What tactics did they use besides fire?
Noise and fear. They fired in bursts to draw dead toward our block, then tried to peel our defenders to side lanes. They had one guy yelling terms like tax and order like they were rebuilding law. It was theater. Just control. They wanted our medic and our welders most. Asked by role, not by name.
That sounds organized.
It is organized. That's the problem. Bandits are bad. Organized raiders are worse.
How did anyone survive the attack?
We had fallback walls inside the warehouse. Not enough people know to build inward layers. They breached outer, thought they had us, then hit steel roll gates we could drop from the catwalk. Bought us dumb. We evacuated through loading tunnel behind the old dock line.
Internal layers saved lives.
Cost lives too. Somebody has to stay and drop those gates. My sister stayed. She didn't come out.
What was her name?
Elena. She was 26. She hated being told what to do. Funny that she died following a plan.
Elena gets remembered here.
Thanks.
What do you need now? You're speaking for whoever made it out.
We split into 2 smaller groups. Need food, seed stock, and antibiotics. Also warning relays. If anyone spots white sleeve paint and men talking protection tax, don't negotiate. Move your kids and your medicine first. They go for medicine first.
That's a critical detail.
Yeah, they don't just steal. They make sure you can't recover. They want dependency.
Before I let you go, anything you want people to know about morale after an attack like that?
People get mean when they're scared. We fought among ourselves after. Blamed gate team, blamed watch schedule, blamed each other. Then one of our teenagers said they burned our food and now we're burning each other. That shut us up. You survive raids by not letting them live in your head after they leave.
That's wisdom earned hard.
Everything is.
They burned what they couldn't carry. That is human evil with planning behind it.
We're getting reports like Maria's from multiple states now. Virginia, Carolinas, parts of Kentucky, chunks of old interstate corridors. Different names, same playbook.
If anyone listening still thinks the worst people died in the first months, no. The worst people adapted too.
Which brings us to another ugly topic. Warlords. Self-styled commanders running lawless pockets. Some offer security and become extortion rackets. Some force labor. Some recruit by kidnapping. Some wrap it in old flags and military words to sound legitimate.
A title doesn't make a system. If they take your kids for training and your food for taxes, that's slavery with branding.
We have a second call on this from a male survivor out of a transport route near Old West Virginia border. Male caller means Jenny takes it. Caller, go ahead. Name's Darnell. I was with a road crew group for 2 months. They called themselves the Authority.
Were you there by choice?
First week by choice. I was hungry. They had soup and walls. Then I found out nobody leaves with their weapon, and work shifts meant armed labor details.
What kind of labor?
Salvage runs, ditch digging, hauling scrap, moving bodies from perimeter zones. If you refused, no food. If you tried to run, public beating. They said it kept order.
How'd you get out?
Raider hit on them, ironically. Chaos during night contact. I grabbed 2 kids and 1 old woman and ran in the confusion. We made it to a church group by a creek. They're decent people. That's where I am now.
You did good.
Doesn't feel good. I left people there.
You got out with 3. That's not nothing.
I know.
Tell listeners how to spot a coercive camp before it's too late.
They ask what you can do before they ask your name. They separate families for intake. They keep all guns for central security. They don't let newcomers talk to older residents alone. And they always got one guy talking nice, while another stands behind him holding a rifle. That's the tell.
That's a strong checklist.
Also, if they punish people publicly for small stuff, leave. Doesn't matter how good the soup is.
Copy that.
Tell folks not to give up on groups, though. The church place that took us in has rules, too. Curfews, watch shifts, food counts. Rules aren't the problem. Cruelty is.
That's an important difference. Thank you.
Rules versus cruelty. Boundaries versus control. Communities need the first. Predators build the second.
We should also talk justice. It comes up in every settlement eventually. Someone steals food. Someone assaults someone. Someone opens a gate drunk. Someone collaborates with raiders. What do you do when there are no courts?
There is no clean answer. Some settlements exile. Some imprison. Some execute in extreme cases. Every option carries risk. Exile can become a death sentence or create future enemies. Execution can break the people forced to carry it out. Doing nothing breaks trust and invites more harm.
Best reports we've seen from stable communities all have some version of due process. Witnesses, group decisions, clear rules announced in advance. Even in collapse, procedure matters.
Procedure is how you keep fear from running the place.
Speaking of fear, we need to disclose this because listeners trust us, and they should know the risk. The station was almost found last month.
3 men, armed, moving with purpose, not scavenging. We spotted them on the ridgeline before dusk. They had field glasses, and one of them was checking for exhaust plumes.
They weren't walkers. Walkers don't watch your generator vent.
We killed power, buried the antenna line, shifted to cooled hold, and sat silent for 9 hours. Didn't light a candle, didn't boil water. Just sat with knives and bad thoughts.
We heard one of them laugh outside the east wall. That's how close.
They moved on by dawn. We don't know who they were. Could have been scouts. Could have been drifters. Could have been the start of something worse.
That's why we never announce our exact location.
And if you're listening thinking, we should know where the station is so we can come help, no. You help by surviving where you are and sending verified info.
Which leads to a practical update. The network now maintains threat tags on human groups where possible. We don't publish exact coordinates broadly, but we do issue movement warnings through trusted relays. If your settlement spots armed groups using repeated symbols, phrases, or vehicle markings, report it. Pattern recognition saves lives.
Human cooperation is survival, but not all humans cooperate. Don't let that truth make you hard in the wrong direction. Vet people, build rules, keep your gate closed until trust earns a hinge.
We need a breath. This next block is the opposite side of the ledger. Humanity rises. Success stories, rebuilding, law, babies, farms, music. I know some of you roll your eyes at the hopeful segments. That's fine. Listen anyway. Hope is logistics too.
It is. Hope is what makes people save seed instead of eating it.
We're starting with a guest many of you requested after hearing the relay mention. Commander Hayes from New Haven Settlement. He hates being called Commander, by the way, but that's what everyone knows him as. Male guest, Jenny Handles. Hayes, you on?
I'm on. And for the record, I was Commander before all this. Now I'm just Hayes.
Noted. Tell us about New Haven.
New Haven is a settlement of about 215 people. Fluctuates weekly. We occupy a former technical campus and surrounding housing blocks. We have perimeter walls, controlled gates, water collection, latrine zones, workshops, clinic, schoolrooms, and a council hall.
Council hall?
7 elected council members. We hold votes every 6 months. Emergency appointments if someone dies. We post rules publicly. We keep records. We hear disputes. We have consequences and appeals. We're not a war camp. We're a town.
That matters.
It matters more than ammo some days. People need to know tomorrow has shape.
How do you handle security without becoming one of the coercive camps we just talked about?
Rotating citizen watch, plus trained perimeter teams. Weapons are registered, not confiscated. We inspect stores, not seize them. Gate policy is strict but transparent. New arrivals, quarantine, and screening. Then probationary work period, then full membership review. No private militias, no hidden prisons. If force is used, it gets documented and reviewed.
Documentation in the apocalypse. I love that.
Bureaucracy survived. Turns out paperwork was a survival adaptation.
That's the first funny thing I've heard tonight.
We laugh, too. It's allowed.
We heard New Haven has hydroponics running.
We do. Former science building. Salvage tanks, tubing, pumps, powered off restored solar, and backup pedal rigs. Not pretty, but efficient. Greens, herbs, some tomatoes. Hydroponics doesn't feed the whole settlement, but it bridges nutrition gaps and reduces pressure on field plots.
How many people can that support?
Full nutritional support for maybe 40 at a time if isolated. Supplemental support for over 300 if we're careful. It's not about calories, it's about vitamins and morale. Fresh greens stop a lot of problems.
Morale is a nutrient now.
Correct.
We also heard about a solar engineer in your settlement.
Former electrical engineer, name's Priya. She rebuilt a patchwork solar grid from rooftop panels and salvaged inverters. We don't have 24-hour power. We have scheduled power blocks. Clinic gets priority, radio room second, workshops third, charging stations by quota. People complained at first, then winter came, and they stopped complaining.
Quotas become wisdom real fast.
Discipline keeps lights on.
Give us a win. Something that made your people feel like this isn't just survival.
Twins. Healthy delivery, 6 weeks ago. Complicated labor. Our clinic team and 2 old world nurses pulled it off. We had a room full of people outside waiting in silence. Then both babies cried. Whole hall cheered like we'd won a war.
That's beautiful.
We also buried 3 people that week. That's New Haven. Joy and grief sharing walls.
Any advice for smaller settlements trying to grow without losing themselves?
Write your rules before a crisis. Don't let your strongest fighter become your judge automatically. Teach children every day, no exceptions, and make room for culture. Music, stories, birthdays, weddings. If all you do is defend and ration, you haven't rebuilt anything. You've just delayed collapse.
That's one of the best lines we've had all year.
It's true.
New Haven says paperwork, hydroponics, and twin babies. That's a future.
That's a country trying to reassemble itself by hand.
We have more Islands of Hope tonight. Quick hits from relays. One settlement restored a machine shop and now produces hand tools for barter. Another started a teaching rota so every child gets reading, arithmetic, and practical safety. And yes, we got a report of former musicians doing weekly music nights.
I wanted to talk about that one.
I know you did.
It's a settlement in western Pennsylvania, maybe 60 people. They gather on Saturdays after dark with shutters closed, one lantern in the middle, and they sing. No stage, no mics, no tickets, just songs people still remember. They said for 2 hours everyone breathes at the same pace.
That's civilization. Right there.
I went to a wedding in month 9. Did I tell that story on air yet?
No. Tell it.
It was tiny. Backyard wedding in a settlement yard ringed with scrap metal fencing. Bride wore a repaired blue dress. Groom wore boots that didn't match. Somebody had dried flowers. Somebody else found a little battery speaker, but it died, so people just hummed instead. During vows, everyone on watch rotated closer so they could hear without leaving their posts. They kissed and everybody clapped too loud and then got embarrassed because loud carries. It was the most human thing I've seen since the fall.
We're not just surviving then.
No, we're still making promises.
Which takes us straight into the network expands. This part makes me proud in a way I didn't think I'd feel again. We started as one station trying not to die. Now we've got a communications web stretching farther than we can physically travel.
Current count from verified relays, 47 settlements in recurring radio contact across the former United States. That's not all survivors. That's just the ones plugged into signal windows we can confirm.
47. A year ago, most people thought their neighborhood was the whole map.
The network works because people keep their word. Operators log calls, settlements check in on schedule, scouts report route changes, medics post needs, traders post what they can move. Runners carry messages where radio can't reach.
Speaking of runners, we have one in studio. Well, studio in the loose sense. Runner Tom made it in with 4 packet rolls and one ankle that looks terrible. Male guest Jenny Line.
It's not terrible. It's decorative.
You're limping.
60 miles and a creek crossing. A limp is a success.
Tell listeners what a runner actually does.
Carry sealed messages between settlements when radio fails, batteries die, or privacy matters. Birth notices, trade terms, route sketches, medical requests, sometimes just letters. We travel light, avoid roads, move dawn and dusk, sleep stupid places.
Why do it?
Because words matter. Because a mother in Ohio needs to know her son in Tennessee is alive. Because one settlement's warning about raiders can save another settlement's gate crew. Because radios don't always work, and people still need each other.
You ever think of stopping?
Every time I hit a fence line and hear dead moving on the other side. Then I remember what happens when communities go silent too long. They start making bad guesses.
What's in tonight's packets that can be shared publicly?
1 medical supply thank you from inland Virginia to a coastal route team. 1 request for seed potatoes from a Kentucky church settlement. 1 report confirming a bridge deck in southern Ohio is no longer passable after storm damage. 1 letter from a kid to her aunt, asking if birthdays still count if you don't know the exact date anymore.
That's okay, yeah. Birthdays still count.
That's what I told her.
What do runners need from settlements to stay alive?
Standardized signals. Don't invent new gate codes every week. Post your lookouts. Don't make us shout names outside walls. Water cache points help. Also stop sending bulky junk in message pouches. I don't need to carry your cast iron pan as a surprise gift.
Somebody did that?
Twice.
Noted. No surprise pans.
1 more thing. If you're a settlement leader, treat your radio operator like gold. Half the places still standing have 1 person quietly keeping them connected, and nobody notices until the batteries fail.
That's true. Operators hold the web together.
Let me eat now?
After we finish using you for content.
Worth a try.
That's Runner Tom. He'll be asleep on a coil of rope in 8 minutes.
He already is, probably.
Let's break down the trading system, because new listeners keep asking how this works without money. Short answer, barter, skill, and reputation.
Skill-based economy first. A medic can trade for shelter. A mechanic can trade for food. A welder can trade for escort. Seed savers, teachers, nurses, radio techs, and water people are high value everywhere.
Barter second. Goods move settlement to settlement. Salt, dried food, seed stock, antibiotics, tools, cloth, wire, batteries, soap, fuel, parts. Nobody gets everything. Everybody gets something.
Reputation is the glue. If you short a trade, lie about route safety, or send spoiled goods on purpose, your name travels. The network is memory now.
We also have a map project underway. Multiple settlements collaborating to chart safe routes, dead zones, water points, seasonal hazards, and raider sightings. Paper maps, hand copies, constantly updated.
It's messy and beautiful. 5 versions of the same county, and all of them useful in different ways.
The warning system works too. We had a successful prevention last month. One settlement relayed suspicious movement, runner carried confirmation, neighboring communities tightened watches, and a raider group walked into prepared defenses and backed off. No attack, no casualties.
Information is defense.
Technical segment now, quick and practical. How to build a basic receiver setup from scavenged parts. This is a summary, not a full manual. Old radios can be rebuilt with salvaged wire, capacitors, and improvised antennas if you've got someone with patience. Copper is gold. Dry storage for components is mandatory. Shield your gear from moisture. If you don't know what you're doing, don't start by taking apart your only working radio.
We learned that one personally.
We don't talk about the incident.
You snapped the tuning stem.
It was already weak.
Sure.
Announcement for all settlements in range. Starting next week, assuming power holds, Red Zone Radio will host a dedicated weekly network hour. Settlement check-ins, trade needs, route updates, and emergency warnings. Same frequency, same time window. We'll relay exact schedule through operators. Weekly. Fixed. Reliable.
That's how systems become institutions.
Next segment. The long cold ahead. Winter prep. We know some regions are already feeling the edge of it. Last winter killed people who made it through the first wave. Cold, hunger, smoke inhalation, bad insulation, sloppy fire setups, untreated frostbite.
Winter kills slower than walkers, but just as thoroughly.
We have a survival caller with hard-earned winter experience. Carlos checked in after hearing our first-year winter mistakes. Male caller, Jenny handles.
Evening, Red Zone. You got me?
We got you. Start with the thing people neglect first.
Insulation. Everybody thinks fire first. Fire matters, sure. But if your shelter leaks heat like a sieve, you're burning your future. Stuff walls with blankets, rags, newspaper, straw, dried leaves and sacks, whatever. Hang inner curtains to create smaller sleeping rooms. Heat the person, then the room, then the building.
Shelter layout tips?
Shared sleeping in cold snaps. Pride sleeps alone, warm people sleep together. Raise beds off the floor if you can, even a few inches helps. Block drafts under doors. Build a mudroom if you've got material, even a crude one, so cold air doesn't dump into living space every time someone enters.
Fire safety without fire departments. People keep dying from avoidable stuff.
Yeah. Clear a radius around stoves. No hanging cloth near flame. Night fire watch every single time. Not optional. Keep ash disposal away from walls and woodpiles. Embers stay alive longer than you think. Carbon smoke kills too. If your room's too sealed and your vent's bad, you don't wake up.
Food preservation for settlements who don't have canning lids or proper supplies.
Smoke what you can, dry what you can. Root cellars for potatoes, carrots, turnips, squash if you got them. Salt and brine if you have salt. Rotate stock. Label by week, not looks old. Hunger makes people guess, and guessing wastes food.
Medical concerns in winter with limited care.
Frostbite and hypothermia don't look dramatic early. Numb fingers, clumsy speech, weird tiredness. Warm people slow and steady, not hot water on frozen skin. Dry clothes immediately. Keep feet dry like it's religion. Wet socks are an injury.
We lost people to cold last year. Michael said it earlier. We don't want repeats.
Then practice now. Do a cold drill before the real cold. Shut your main heat for one night and see what fails. Better to find the draft now than in a storm.
That's smart.
Also, this part nobody likes. Cold makes people desperate. Hungry people steal. Scared people lie. If you can take in stragglers before the worst hits, do it early and screen them. Once the snow comes, every knock sounds like a threat.
That's a hard truth, but a useful one.
Last tip, repair clothing now, not when the wind starts. Needles, thread, patch cloth, boot wraps, glove liners. Fancy gear's gone. Maintenance is survival.
Strong advice. Thank you, Carlos.
Maintenance is survival. Add that to the wall, too.
We also got a settlement story from last winter that's worth sharing. Small Hilltown group, 30-ish people. They nearly collapsed in a blizzard because they centralized food in one shed and the roof failed. They changed everything after. Split storage, interior fire teams, shared sleep rooms, and daily calorie logs. They're still alive because they treated the loss as a lesson, not fate.
Clothing scavenging tips from listener mail. Wool beats almost everything if you can find it. Layer thin, not one huge coat. Dry boots by warmth, not direct flame. Save every zipper, button, and buckle from dead clothing. Repair kits are wealth.
Firewood strategy reminder. Cut before you need it. Stack off the ground, cover top, leave sides vented. Don't build your wood pile against your outer wall unless you want moisture, pests, and one bad spark to ruin your week.
Learned that one personally.
Yes, you did.
Call to all communities in colder regions. If you have the capacity, take in one more before the hard freeze. One person can become a watch shift, a teacher, a medic, a carpenter, or just another pair of hands on firewood. Vet them, yes, but don't let winter turn your heart into your wall.
We survive because someone let us in, almost all of us.
Final segment of the anniversary broadcast. The future we're fighting for. Year 1 reflection. Looking ahead. If you're still listening with us this deep into the night, you already know this isn't a victory speech.
No, it's a roll call of what remains.
Jenny and I talked before going on air about what to say here. We wrote notes, threw them out. Here's the truth. Year 1 changed us.
I think about who I was before. That person worried about late rent and awkward office parties and whether I sounded stupid on mic. She wouldn't recognize me now.
I used to think being composed meant sounding smooth. Now it means saying the ugly part without making people collapse.
We're harder, scarred, meaner some days than I like. We have instincts now that would have scared us before.
We've seen people die badly. We've made decisions with no good option. We've walked away from roads with voices on them because we couldn't save everybody. That doesn't leave clean.
But we're still kind. That's the part I keep checking. We're still kind. We still share route maps. We still split medicine. We still read names. We still make soup for people we met yesterday.
The dead took our country. They didn't take our humanity. Unless we hand it over.
And a lot of people didn't hand it over.
We asked for survivor messages before tonight. What have you lost? What have you found? And why do you keep going? We can't play recordings, but we can read excerpts.
I'll start. Lost my wife in month 2 and my house in month 1. Found a community in month 4 and a reason to wake up in month 5. I keep going because my daughter still laughs when the goats chase her. That's unsigned from a farm group in Missouri.
Lost both brothers on the road south. Found out I can fix pumps, and people need pump fixers more than they ever needed me before. I keep going because useful feels close to hope. That's Ellis, Tennessee route line.
Lost my church building. Found out church fits in a kitchen if enough people are hungry and honest. Pastor Ruth, unknown county.
Lost hearing in one ear from a stupid mistake. Found 2 boys hiding in a school bus, and now they call me Aunt June. I keep going because they need someone to teach them how to patch socks. Aunt June, Kansas Relay.
Lost the idea that adults know what they're doing. Found out they can learn. That's from a child in a settlement that asked us not to say where.
That's maybe the most accurate thing anybody sent.
We also got messages about children born after the collapse. It sounds strange saying that. After, like a historical period. But there are babies now who never heard a city.
That's the generation that rebuilds if we give them enough years to remember more than fear.
Year 2 planning matters because of them. This isn't just stay alive until spring anymore. It's schools, clinics, routes, governance, crop rotation, apprenticeships, vaccines if science ever claws its way back. All of it.
Network priorities for Year 2 from relay councils and settlement operators. Expand regular check-ins. Coordinate larger trade corridors with armed escorts where possible. Standardize warning codes for raiders and herd movements. Share crop data by region. Develop regional medical hubs. Train more radio operators.
Map dead zones seasonally, not just once.
Shared defense is the biggest debate. Some settlements want loose mutual aid. Others want formal pacts. We don't have a one-size answer. Distance, terrain, and trust all matter. But doing nothing isn't an answer either. Raiders coordinate. Herds move. Winter hits everybody. Communities need each other.
We also need to honor the people who didn't make it to year 1. We did names earlier. We're doing a final memorial now. Short, because if we let ourselves stay in it too long, we won't finish the broadcast.
A moment, then.
For the soldiers who held lines that couldn't hold.
For the nurses and medics who worked until supplies became memory.
For the parents who fed children first and didn't see another morning.
For the neighbors who opened doors.
For the ones still missing.
For all of them.
We remember you.
We have an emergency relay interrupting the close. This is fresh and verified through 2 operators.
Go.
Massive walker herd moving north through a former interstate corridor. Current projected path threatens multiple small settlements if speed holds. We are not naming exact locations on open air, but if you're in the mid-Atlantic inland chain and you know your route markers, check operator channels immediately. Repeat, check operator channels immediately.
Settlements in that path, do not wait for visual confirmation if your scouts already flagged movement. Begin quiet relocation of children, medicine, and seed stock now. Establish fallback positions. No panic fires. No vehicle convoys unless route is clear.
Runner relays are being redirected. Road scouts, if you can move, report only verified crossings and obstruction points. No guesses tonight.
This is why the broadcast exists. Not just memory. Not just morale. Connection. Warning. Coordination.
We keep saying community, but this is what it means. A voice in one place helps people in another place survive the night.
Before we close, one last letter. Jenny, read the kids one.
Okay. This is from a child survivor in an Ohio settlement. Dear radio people, my name is Emma, and I am 10, maybe 11, because we missed my birthday. My mom says I ask too many questions. I want to be a doctor when I grow up, because our doctor died, and I think that's not fair. I am practicing by helping clean bandages and reading the medicine labels out loud, because Mrs. Pike says if I can read the labels, I can save someone someday. Please tell people we are trying.
Emma, we hear you.
You already sound like a doctor to me.
Please tell people we are trying. That's the country now. Trying. Building. Learning. Failing. And trying again.
We survived year 1. Barely, unevenly, with scars and graves and miracles, but we did.
We'll survive year 2 the same way we survived year 1. Together. Or not at all.
We're still human.
We're still here.
And we're not done.
This is Michael Hale.
And Jenny from Red Zone Radio, somewhere in the Northeast.
Hold your frequency tomorrow at the usual hour for network updates and herd route warnings.
Keep your candles, your bells, your porch marks, your Sunday signals.
If you've got a voice, use it.
If you've got a hand, help somebody.
If you've got hope,
protect it.
Year 1 is over.
Tomorrow, we start year 2.